Hey friends in beauty, if you're a professional makeup artist or beauty pro who is tired of juggling multiple tools to run your business, I got great news for you. Beauty Pro Funnels is here to simplify your life and take your business to the next level. Unlike other platforms like Wix, Squarespace, or Acuity, Beauty Pro Funnels was created by a makeup artist for makeup artists. This is the world's first all-in-one software that helps you book clients, sell your products, and even launch courses all in one place. No need for separate subscriptions that drain your wallet or tools that don't speak your language as a beauty pro. With Beauty Pro Funnels, you're not just getting another booking tool. You're unlocking the ability to create multiple revenue streams, so whether you're behind the chair or not, you're making money. Imagine accepting bookings, selling your beauty products, and offering courses all without the stress of managing separate systems. That could be a big headache. Let me break it down to you one more time. Your website, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your portfolio, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. Your booking site, build it on Beauty Pro Funnels. And your e-commerce site, host it in Beauty Pro Funnels. Want to offer beauty courses or digital products? You can sell them inside of Beauty Pro Funnels, and you'll be able to send invoices, digital contracts, newsletters, and do all of your marketing directly from your Beauty Pro Funnels account. It's mind-blowing. Listen, you're going to save hundreds of dollars every single month by replacing over 10 platforms when you make the switch to Beauty Pro Funnels like Wix, Squarespace, Acuity, WordPress, Vagaro, Honeybooks, 17 Hats, Dubsado, MailChimp, Klaviyo, Kajabi, DocuSign, even Shopify. It's crazy. I know you got at least one of those. And here's the best part. Tayana and her team spent over a year building plug-and-play templates into your account for pretty much everything, so you never have to start from scratch at all. So all of your appointment confirmations, reminders, and payment reminders and stuff like that for your clients, they have already been written out for you. You can even gather reviews and referrals all on autopilot. You'll free up so many hours of time each week so you can focus on what you love, your artistry. Plus, with their mobile app, you can manage your entire business from the palm of your hand. Send invoices, schedule appointments, and even take payments on the go. I believe in Beauty Pro Funnels so much that I recently moved the Friends of Beauty site to Beauty Pro Funnels, and I am loving it. It's a game changer because it's not just a platform. I swear it is like having your personal business assistant designed specifically for makeup artists and beauty pros like you. So here's the deal. If you want to see what all the hype is about, visit getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends to get a personalized tour and see how Beauty Pro Funnels can transform your business today. That's getbeautyprofunnels.com/friends because you deserve the best tool for your beauty business.
I was like, okay, I really love aromatherapy. And again, because I'm a mental health advocate and because I really, I love beauty, I wanted something that was going to combine both. So when I think of aromatherapy, I think of it as literal therapy.
Yeah.
Scent. Mm-hmm. So I make all the formulas by myself. So I am the one that's like putting all the ingredients in there because I wanted it to be handmade, because I generally feel like nothing is handmade anymore. Everything's like factory made. You don't know what the ingredients are. And the thing about most of like even the front end and all those like TikTok shop things, you need to have the quantity ready.
Because right, so when people order.
Exactly. And you have to be ready for virality, and a lot of times people aren't ready for that. And then people will tell you what to do. Will you do it is the other thing. Because it's the hard thing to do. Right. Like people have said it over and over again, especially on TikTok. Hey, you want to grow on TikTok? This is what you do. You pick this, you do this, you do that. And like the best thing you can do for yourself is to learn. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we are scared of learning and it's because we don't want to fail. But like failing is what teaches you.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode, I have the pleasure of having Ronke Raji in the Friends in Beauty guest chair, y'all. So Ronke is a makeup artist, beauty guru, photographer, and founder of Anke Beauty. Her creativity, y'all, is out of this world. I'm absolutely a big fan of Ronke. You can catch her on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, giving us a peek into her creative journey as life as a mom of two. A mom of two with style, embracing beauty and creativity, and just taking us along the way. I just love her energy so much. So welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Ronke.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much for the introduction. I do want to say it's so funny because I remember when I started makeup, and I don't think I've ever told you this, which is like perfect. When I first started makeup, I only used to follow certain people in the DMV area because when it comes to makeup, especially makeup artistry, there are certain people who have like a talent for artistry, and the way they do makeup, you can just tell like it's like very artistic. And I feel like you were one of those people who I like always like paid attention to the way you did your makeup. It was just always so like clean and like polished. And I was like, oh, she is amazing at what she does. So I just thought I'd tell you that.
That is a pleasant surprise because I've always been watching you, and I'll tell you the second. Like I remember when I first saw you in person, I was like, oh my God, I was like fangirling out. But like I've been following you for a long time. So when I finally had the chance to meet you in person like years ago,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, and I've just been like kind of glued ever since. So I'm really, really excited. And we've been running into each other recently at a
A
lot of
lot.
events and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So happy to see us out and about doing our thing, still,
Yeah. Love that.
kicking and
Love that.
everything in this industry.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
Yes. Well, before we get started with the chit chat, we're going to start off with some icebreakers so the Friends of Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do. So, first one, just give us 3 random facts about you.
3 random facts about me. I crochet. I do crochet.
Mhm.
So I've crocheted like bags,
Mhm.
hats. I've been doing it since I was in like high school.
Okay.
And now I just do it as a hobby. Um, I guess, hmm, random facts. I went to high school in Nigeria.
Nice.
I'm originally Nigerian, originally from Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
Um, Third random fact, I have 2 younger brothers and they're twins.
Wow, 2 twin brothers, younger.
Yes, they're younger.
Cool biz. I like that. Okay. I'm like praying, like, if I have children one day, I'm just praying for twins. Like, just get it done one time and just be like,
That's what I thought. And then I went into labor one time and I was like, I don't know if I can do this on the same day twice.
I mean, look, one time beats going back for a second round for me.
That's
Shoot.
true though.
And
That's
that's
true.
so cool. I learned how to crochet when I was like 11, but I haven't made anything in a long time. But it's that
Yeah.
muscle memory that's still there. Like if I pick up a needle
Oh,
right now, I could
yeah.
probably make a hat. But like I
Yes.
haven't tried it in a while. I might have to try to make
You
something.
honestly you should. It's actually really therapeutic. I have the yarn to make a blanket right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you to do it. I haven't crocheted in like at least a month.
Yeah.
I was really when
I
I
used to
caught the
make
bug,
earrings and everything.
cute earrings.
Mhm.
I might have to work on,
Super easy.
especially
Just
the
put the hook
flower
on it.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to try that. I might have to learn the pattern because that would be so cute. Crochet earrings. Like imagine like the flower crochet earrings.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now you're giving me ideas.
She's
Okay.
just a creative. She's like, I got
Yep.
it.
You know,
What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from, I guess, creative stuff? Or that's like it.
what do people tell me? Honestly, it's really most of the things I'm good at is creative stuff.
Hmm.
But I'm also really sporty. That's one thing people don't know about me. Um, yeah,
Like you
I,
play
I
sports like athletic?
I guess I could say I'm athletic, honestly. I used to play sports in high school, but I wasn't really serious about any of the sports I played. But I would say I'm athletic in the sense that like I enjoy like getting my steps in and things like that. So
Yeah.
I guess people are like, oh, she's into fitness a little bit. You know what? Let me stop saying fitness a little bit. I'm into fitness, period.
Okay.
Because even if I'm having like a gap, I go right back and start my
Yeah.
fitness journey all over again. So yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. All right.
Yeah,
When's
yeah.
the last time you did something for the first time? Have you had any like new experiences lately?
I actually went to a sushi making class and it was super fun. I usually do the California roll in general, which is cooked, but this it was like authentic raw
So
sushi and we like rolled it. Can you hear me?
yeah. So it was
Okay.
raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I had a bite. It was nice, but I didn't eat anymore. I went home and I got myself a seafood boil and I ate
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cute. One of my friends had like a sushi thing one time at her house, and we made like we would just all would sit there watching the YouTube video, like
I
how to
love
make it
that.
and stuff like that. It was really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, no, I honestly had so much fun. I had to like when it comes to like creative stuff, like you said, like I make sure I do it like perfectly. So I was on there like, oh my God, I'm gonna show these people how to make the sushi. I mean, it came out pretty good, but I cut off the ends that didn't come out good.
I love it. That's fun. New experiences. I'm
Yes,
here
yes,
for it.
yes,
Let's
yes.
see. What is a current mini win, like a small win or milestone or highlight for the year so far?
Um, I gotta okay, so I've been creating perfume content for a second now. I just added it to like, it wasn't really something that I thought to add. I just I started having fun with, my PR packages and,
Yeah.
people sending me perfumes. And I got really good at it. I started using it to practice my videography. So I guess a small win for me was, I actually got a campaign to do a perfume. Yeah, so
Really?
yes, I got a brand deal to do a perfume campaign. So that was like kind of like a full circle moment for me because I was kind of like, wow, like it paid off that I
Yeah.
did all these fun things. So yeah, that was a big win. That was well, I don't I feel like all wins are big wins.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
That's super cool. 'Cause I know a lot of people with content, I guess they're expecting brands to like want them to do a campaign before the brand can even see what you can do. Like they just
No.
expecting the brand to be like, oh, I'm gonna pay you to do this, but you like
Ex
created your own just from,
yes.
being inspired by whatever you received and
I
then the
started
brand
realizing it works the other way around. I think people are so focused on like money and like what can I get from a brand that like actually brands need to see that you are authentically creating specific content before they feel like they can invest in you. So
Yeah.
I thought that was something cool.
Yeah, I love that. So if you weren't a makeup artist, photographer, now you're dibbling in videography, beauty guru, creative, like, is there anything else you can see yourself doing right now?
Visual art. Yes.
Okay.
I would have been a visual artist and I would have probably done pottery.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two things that I still feel like I'm gonna incorporate into my life at some point and probably do full time.
Okay.
But yeah, those two things, yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
love it. She is
it's
just a
always creative.
creative.
There's
Yeah.
no way, like,
I
there's no way.
love it. I love it. I want to start by asking, how's your mental health today?
It's honestly great. Um, a little overwhelmed, obviously, because life. I've been at this job for like what, 2, 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Whispering because and I've been kind of in the middle of, okay, do I want to leave? Do I not want to leave? But today I'm trying to put my 2 weeks in.
Like, shh, don't say it too loud. That is
So
so funny.
and I guess I'm just a little bit nervous because, stability,
Yeah.
as a creative, people don't realize, but I feel like creatives thrive more when they don't have something that's taking up their time that's
Mm-hmm.
not creative
Yeah.
than when they have the stability that people want for them. So for me, this is like a new era in a way,
Yeah.
of taking a chance on myself again because I've
Yeah.
taken a chance on myself several times. um so yeah, and I've talked to like my friends about it and like a couple of people and they're all like worried. They're like, we have 2 kids, and but I'm not, because I believe in myself. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's how my mental health is right now.
I know that's right. And I feel the same way. I don't have a 9 to 5 right now, even though every now and then I'm like, I want a job, like for that stability, just to be like, I know that this check is coming in. Cause I keep on
Mhm.
joking. I don't know when people are listening to this, but I keep on joking and say I'm still waiting on money from a job from like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? But if I know that like that paycheck is coming in while I'm waiting for that job money to come, like you get a little
Yes.
anxious sometimes. So just like overwhelmed with like all the moving parts that it takes to just be a
Yeah.
human, like a good human at
Yeah.
that. Like it's a lot.
It is. It
But I
is.
be wanting a job sometime. And I love that you're like sitting here at your 9 to 5, like y'all about to like put about 2 weeks because it's so real because a lot of people have 9 to 5s and are creatives and they're
Yes.
in that same predicament of like that
To
struggle of
that.
like I want to do the creative things, but the job is
Yeah.
kind of hindering me and
Yeah.
with the stability and the
Yes.
all the things.
Yeah. I think with me, like, to be honest, like, I'm like mentally, creativity drives me.
Hmm.
So when I'm doing something that is not creative, I actually don't thrive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thrive more when I'm in my I'm only doing creative stuff,
Hmm.
vibe. And the stability has been great, but I also have learned discipline, honestly. I've learned discipline. I've learned, oh, so you can wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. and do your makeup for work
Right. Right.
when you weren't doing that when you were, you know what I mean? Like we as creatives, especially if you're like doing this full time and we're also passive about it. We're like, I know I can wake up at 12 o'clock and do whatever I want, because I work for myself. But like when you work a job, it shows you, hey, you actually need to be disciplined. You need to actually like be like, hey, I work from this time to this time. This is what I do
Yeah.
from this time to this. You know what I mean? So it's like it teaches you structure. So I feel like that's why I'm like really happy that I even had the experience because it has really improved my work ethic.
Got you.
And it has also like because every experience is a teaching thing, is
Mm,
that you learn from the experiences you have. So I feel like it has actually really showed me the power of my own mind. Like, oh,
yeah.
you can do this, like you can wake up at 6 a.m., walk and have your own schedule. So, and also I now have understood the power of different streams of income because
Mhm.
that's actually one of the reasons why I started Anke. And, I have an ebook and I do photography, like I do photography, weddings, I do you.
Yeah.
So it's like I have understood the power of kind of spreading yourself in different directions so that way you create your own sense of stability.
Yeah.
So like, I'm obviously still making a plan, trying to still create some type of stability, but also not too worried because I know that like, hey, things will fall into place when they need to.
Yeah, for sure. And
So,
like you said, if you could wake up at 6 a.m. for that job, you could wake up at 6 a.m. for yourself as
mhm.
well. But how
Yep.
do you like when you are creative and you do have all of these streams of income, how are you managing like being able to promote all of the things? Like how you do you like say, okay, this week I'm gonna promote the ebook and this week I'm gonna promote the photography. Like how do you like in your mind, like make sure that
So,
everything is being talked about?
okay, so basically, okay, so that's actually such a great question because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Anke has definitely been doing great in the sense that like I've been a little bit more consistent on it than when I launched last year. And I've been actually building because I want that to be my business outside of being an influencer. But some weeks I will promote Anke like no man's business and I'll have, some orders. But other weeks, like last week, I started because again, I have 4 platforms because I also do have a podcast
Okay.
that I hadn't been on since 2023.
Okay.
But because I always try to do something for World Mental Health Day, because again, I'm like a huge mental health advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I decided, okay, I'm going to do one podcast episode for World Mental Health Day. And then from there, just like kind of start doing one episode a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now I delegated, what's that word?
Like
Outsourced.
outsource.
Out
Yes.
I outsourced. Thankfully, I have somebody who told me that they were going to try and help me edit my podcast. So I'm very thankful for that, because I don't know how I was going to do it all.
Yeah.
Now, that's one thing. That's one platform. YouTube is another platform. And for a while, I was not really on YouTube. I was like, oh, pushing YouTube to the side, focusing on Instagram and TikTok. But then I went to a YouTube event and I started realizing how lucrative YouTube still is if you put in the effort, because YouTube is a long game type of platform.
I'm still trying to get monetized.
Yes, it is you can't think of it like Instagram and TikTok that you would get the rewards immediately. You have to think of it as the long game. Like, if you're going to put up 2 videos a week, just put up 2 videos a week and don't even think about numbers. You can't think about any of that when it's YouTube.
Just do it.
Something can pick up 5 months after you posted it, and you're just kind of like, oh. Like, there's been times that I thought I wasn't really getting a lot of views, and then I went back to that specific time and I'm like, wait a minute.
That's so crazy you say that too, because I have at least like 3 videos that I did, I don't know how long ago. One of them is like about magnetic lashes. The other one is about how to get clients. And the other one is like how to record and edit a podcast. And that was like 3 years ago, but I'm not getting paid from it yet because I'm not monetized, but those are like my top videos that people keep going back to.
Yes. It honestly, getting monetized, you just need 1,000 subscribers. And honestly,
I have the subscribers, but I don't have the watch hours.
Oh, I didn't even know that was, look at me. But then let me tell you something I did when I was trying to get monetized. I created a series. And what I did was I used the series to post twice a week.
Got you.
So I recorded a bunch of videos because I think it was like a natural hair series where I like took videos of like my friends and them talking about their natural hair, like 5 minutes. Because again, watch time, honestly, you don't need long videos. You just need short videos.
Right.
Like, if you have an 8-minute video that people watch all throughout, that watch time is going to go through the roof. So literally just commit to two times a week, an 8-minute video.
You just gave me an idea.
Yes.
Okay.
8-minute video, even less, 5 minutes. I'm just saying 8 minutes because if it's an 8-minute video, you can do 2 ads inside of it when you do get monetized.
Got you.
So a tip for you, please do it, especially because we have 3 months left in the year. Girl, get monetized before December.
I know that's right.
Even before December. Let's try November.
Okay.
I'm talking to myself also. Anyway, so I decided like last week, another content creator, her name is Fumi Ford. I don't know if you know her. She's like a fashion creator, but she's also very into like analytics and like social media stats, the behind the scenes work. Yeah. And I follow her broadcast channel, and she was talking about Vlogtober. And, we focus so much about Vlogmas, everybody does Vlogmas and they're like, oh yeah, Vlogmas is so fun. Even I focus on Vlogmas. But when I saw that challenge where it was like, try to put up a video a day, I was like, actually, this would be a great way to reintroduce myself to YouTube. Why don't I try it?
Is it too late to start?
But I love the way she talked about it, because she was like, look, I'm a mom. I don't know if I can do 7 videos a day, but what if I do 4? So that kind of helped me be like, actually, I'm a mom too. Can I really do 7? No, I can't. Right. And I'm really glad that I didn't choose to do 7, because I don't think I'll be able to do it because I do have other platforms. However, I chose 4. Now, because I chose 4 last week, I put up 4 videos last week, which shocked me, because I was like, wait a minute, you just need to plan? So before the beginning of this week, I was able to already have 3 videos because I was planning ahead to be like, oh, I know I need 4 videos. How am I going to split it up during the week to start recording those videos? And she actually put up a plan like that and was like, hey, this is how you do it. You got a plan. Now it's Monday. I already have 3 videos pre-filmed. So that means I already met my quota for the week. And then when I go home today, I'm going to record 1 more video, which is like my top favorite perfumes, which, since I already have makeup on, is going to be super easy to film. That's 4 videos. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to figure out how to do certain things without, like, batch filming content has really helped me. Like creating, even on days where I know that I already have content, amazing.
Hmm.
But aside from that, it's hard.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's hard. But I do think like planning beforehand and like doing several videos, like even though you already have videos, doing more.
Yeah. Got you.
So
Stacking them
yeah.
up. That's how the podcast is. Like right now, I have so many interviews that are like just gonna keep on, dripping out.
Because you do podcasting really great. I when you told me, I think when we met, you were like, "Yeah, this is my 100th episode or something," and I
Oh
was like,
wow. So this is gonna be like we're in the 200s now.
"Wow, that means you already like that's amazing,
Yeah.
girl." I have three, not even three. This
But
is
it's
the
the
thing.
same concept of just like recording it
That's
ahead of time, like
true.
batching it and then
That's
just
true. Yeah, and I guess we never think of that, but since you know how to do the podcast, then you could do that for YouTube.
can. I used to do that for YouTube, like or just like content in general. I used to batch record all of my content, but I've been like in a space of like not feeling that creativeness for like the last
Yeah,
year or whatever. Like just like the space that I'm in is not like a creative space. So like in order
yeah.
to create the kind of content that I do want to create, I would probably have to go somewhere and like rent out a space to like do that.
Mm.
So
I mean, why do you feel that way though? I like this green
this is
background. This is
cute.
a
Like, yeah, this is
this
cute.
is a you see, this is the thing. I'm a perfectionist, and what you just said made me feel like that's exactly how you are too.
Yeah. I just
I
want it to be a
genuinely
certain way, you know?
No, you know what's funny? I had to stop myself from thinking that because every single time I thought that, it was preventing me from doing things that I needed to do without just jumping in. Like
Yeah.
I was so hard, especially on my beauty content. Like I wanted my beauty content to come out a certain way, like the lighting, everything. But I realized actually it's the other way around. Like people think, oh, I want it to be this certain way. Let me wait until it's this certain way. But
Right, to do it.
technically, it's actually the more you keep doing, the more it will get to the way you want it. But you gotta do it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yep.
my photography in the past 2 years has actually improved so much because I take pictures every day. But before then, I was thinking my photography will improve. It can't improve if you don't, you know what I mean? You
Yep.
won't know how you want your setup or how you want things to be if you don't just like jump in
Yeah.
and do.
So true.
Yeah,
So true.
yeah, do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
do
just
it.
like just do it. Like you just started Anke or you
Yes.
revived it. You have to tell us about this aromatherapy for the lips.
Yes. So basically, okay. So this whole thing started, honestly, it actually started in 2021. This is
Okay.
this is you're getting the exclusive because I actually forget to mention this part in most of the things I talk about. But in 2021, I had an idea. And honestly, we all know how ideas are. If an idea comes to you and you don't do anything with it, another person is going to do it because it's going to jump to another person. So I had this idea at first. I wanted to do lip glosses. I wasn't really sure where the idea came from, but it just jumped into my head.
Yeah.
So I actually had named it. I had named it like Ovane because I wanted it to be like a cute name and things like that. But it never really hit off because I was just kind of like, I don't know how to do it. I didn't know much about manufacturers. I was thinking like, do I need a factory? It was just like a
Mhm.
lot of, like you said, like
Moving
I want it to
parts.
be a certain way. You
Uh-huh.
know, like I want it to be a certain way. So fast forward to 2022, I was at a low point. This was like right after my birthday, and I was at a low point, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, maybe you need to break out of this whole you just being so focused and being an influencer, growing your numbers, like do something else, do something tangible, do something that you want to do. So I
Mhm.
started researching, I started being like, okay, cool, let me see if I can actually do this lip gloss thing. Then I had a dream. Oh God, this sounds so African auntie. But I had a dream, and in the dream, I was on a talk show.
Mhm.
And on the talk show, that maybe this is it. Interesting. Anyway, because in the dream I was on a talk show and they were asking me, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm having deja vu now. So maybe this was what was happening. Anyway, Very, very strange. Very strange.
Oh, wow.
So I was on a talk show or a podcast because at this point I don't even know if it was a talk show or a podcast.
Right.
But I was on a talk show and they were asking me, "Oh, where did you get?" Oh, wow. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So funny. This is so funny. Now it's giving full circle. And they were asking me, the person who was asking questions was asking me, where did you get your brand name from?
Mm-hmm.
So in the dream, I was telling them, oh, basically, I got it from the last three letters of my name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for some reason, when I woke up, I actually forgot that I had the dream. You know, we sometimes like
Yeah.
I'm
I'll be driving and be like, oh,
quite literally, that's what happened. I was driving, at that was the next part. I was driving, and then I was like, wait a minute, did I have it? Because I have like I'm a dreamer. Like like most of my dreams are like, I won't say prophetic, but I would just say like I have a gift of dreaming.
yeah, like
So
premonition, the like
yes,
forecasting.
yes. So I
Mhm.
was driving and I was like, oh my God, I had a dream. And I couldn't remember the first letter because I know that I couldn't remember the first letter. And I was
Yeah.
like, dang. So I started like writing things down because at first I was like, oh my God, was it a T? Was it an A? So I started like just plugging in random letters in there to like try to jog my memory.
Yeah.
Then I was just kind of like, okay, calm down. Let me just let this go for a second and like, do other things. Then as I was sitting down, I was like, wait a minute, I love the letter A. Like my name is Ronke. My children's name is Amari and Ivana.
Okay.
Even my parents, my brothers are all have A names because my
Oh,
dad basically named us all and we have all his initials basically. So my dad's initials are YAR and my brothers and I's initials are YAR.
got
So
you.
there's an A in everybody's name. So
Mm-hmm.
the letter A was always like super important to me. So something was just like, maybe you should put an A in the front of NKE. Come to find out. Let me stop. Every time I say come to find out, I just want to say everybody ate. But anyway, that sound has infiltrated my mind. So then I Googled it. I was like, okay, because again, I'm huge into meaning. So I was like, look, if this doesn't mean anything, then it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I Google it and it's basically it said it was a Hebrew word that meant God has favored me.
Mm.
I
Wow.
said,
That's it.
I said, ooh,
That's amazing.
I let me tell you, every time I tell this story, I get chills because I sometimes can't even believe that that's really the story behind it.
Yeah.
Because when you hear stories, you just think like, oh, okay, that's fun, but like it was really like deep.
Yeah. God has faith.
So, I went ahead, I said, okay, how am I going to, you know, brand this? And I'm all about aesthetic. Wait, first of all, let me see if I have this. I do.
Yes. Let's
Yeah.
see.
So this is what it looks like.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
have
I
to
like the
send you one.
packaging.
Yes, I have to send you one. So I'm huge into aesthetic. I love brown. I love wood, So I wanted something that was going to reflect me in the packaging, but I
Mm-hmm.
also am huge into aromatherapy. And that already also has its own story. Basically, I was in therapy and
Mm-hmm.
there was this specific therapy I was in called EMDR. And the lady gave me, what, you've heard of
Was
it?
just talking about this yesterday. Me, my best friend, and this other girl. Oh my gosh.
EMD, what, were they in EMDR?
They were thinking about, well, they're thinking about doing it. And they were
Please,
explaining to
God.
me what it was.
Yes.
And I'm like, I want to do it now too.
Out of all the therapy, so I've been in therapy now since 2020, so about 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've done like, the regular therapy, talk therapy, but the EMDR therapy to me stood out the most.
Wow.
It's and I only like I was in Arizona and that population is a little different from like Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
but I was pleasantly surprised. Like it was such a comforting experience and I had the most breakthroughs in that short period of time that I was in EMDR therapy than even now that I'm in just regular therapy.
Right. Oh, I want
Yeah.
to do it. Okay, that's
So if you're
confirmation.
thinking
Okay.
about it, I think that it's a great thing to invest in, especially if you have like complex trauma. So
Mm-hmm.
very
Yes,
great.
love it.
So I remember the lady in the beginning of our session, like in the beginning when I first started, she gave me a box and she was like, all these are essential oils. I want you to go through each of them and smell them. Tell me how you feel as you're smelling them. So I go through like the typical scents, and it's like ylang ylang, lavender, and I smelled citrus.
Yeah.
And I'd never been a citrus person, because
Mhm.
in general, a scent person. I've always been a scent person, but I never knew what scent I liked.
Yeah.
It honestly has been a journey of self-discovery, this whole thing. So I end up smelling the citrus and being like, wow, that makes me happy. I love it.
Mhm.
Girl, I went and bought everything citrus. I bought, so there was this native
Like a
body
body
wash
wash.
that was citrus, and I think it was citrus, and I can't even remember what the other note was, because native comes with like two different scents sometimes,
Mhm.
but it was the citrus one. I had a citrus body spray. I had citrus deodorant, the native one that also came with the. I went all
You
out.
would go to frenzy.
I was, because I realized that it really was helping with my mood. It was
Mhm.
helping like alleviate stress, because I was smelling something that was in my head so great and like so just invigorating.
Mhm.
So then I was like, okay, I really love aromatherapy. And again, because I'm a mental health advocate and because I really, I love beauty, I wanted something that was going to combine both. So when I think of aromatherapy, I think of it as literal therapy with
Yeah.
scent.
Right.
So with my lip glosses, right now I have two colors. I have the brown, which is Namaste Nude. So cute. I think so.
Namaste nude.
Yeah. And then I have the pink one, the light pink one, that's called Bisou, which is French for kiss.
Mhm.
Now, the Namaste Nude, so I make all the formulas by myself. So I am the one that's like putting all the ingredients in there, because I wanted it to be handmade, because I generally feel like nothing is handmade anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's like factory made. You don't know what the ingredients are. And MAC has always been a brand that I look up to. And to know that they started in a kitchen makes me feel like I want to start like a business
Yeah.
start, like, because I want it to be long-term growth. I don't want to just focus on the fact that like, oh, I want a product because I can, I want to be very invested in the product. So I make the whole formula by myself. I wanted it to be something that catered to Black women, not
Mhm.
that it doesn't cater to everybody else, but catered to Black women in the sense that like I want all Black women, dark, light, to be able to wear it and feel like, oh, that's my perfect nude. But also I wanted it to be skincare. So I wanted it to be skincare and makeup combined.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've seen from people that have gotten it are like, oh my God, I love this as like before makeup, but I also like it on top of my makeup.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that was basically kind of it. I love the packaging. I love the way it turned out. So the Namaste Nude, which is the brown nude, it smells like brown sugar.
Ooh.
And then the Bisou, the pink nude, smells like vanilla. And
Okay.
just FYI, you heard it here first. I'm coming out with a red for obviously for Christmas,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be called Nutcracker. And
Oh, that's cute.
it's gonna be sugar cookie scented.
I
So I
love.
think that would be really nice. It's already in the works. I think
Yeah.
that would be like, I love having fun with
That's really, really exciting though. Like, how did you even learn how to make lip glosses?
research.
Okay.
A lot of research. Like I spent because even before I released them, I tried them on myself several times. Like I actually started wearing it as part of my routine so that I could so I could see if I liked it. Like I wanted to market a product that I liked so that I
Yeah.
know that other people would like it
Yeah.
a lot.
Uh,
Like,
okay,
oh,
got you.
okay. I researched a lot, like YouTube videos, Google, Chat GBT.
Yeah.
I wanted to understand, and I'm still learning, again, I started realizing like the best thing you can do for yourself is to learn. A lot
Hmm.
of times we are scared of learning, and it's because we don't want to fail, but like failing is what teaches you.
Yeah.
Failing teaches you, like, oh, like for example, when I launched Anke the first time, I had the label was actually on the glass bottle, and I had handmade the labels myself. Now, when I had sold them to people, or even the ones that I gave my friends, one thing they kept telling me was like, oh, Ronke, like the label keeps coming off, and I
Yes.
don't want a situation where like, I don't know the brand, anything like that. So when I was relaunching, it was really important for me to actually have the physical name on the product.
Gotcha.
And I knew that, yes, I could have it on the bottle, but again, I wanted my product to be something super different and unique. So I was like, why don't I have the name on the cap? Because again, this is going to be in Sephora someday. So I
Right.
wanted it to be cute enough to be in there. So yeah, I just thought to myself, okay, how am I going to redo it? So I failed that. I
Hmm.
mean, technically, it was a failure in the sense that, like, I paused it for a second. I tried to get it better. Even the formula, I was like, okay, what did I do last time that I can do better this time? Okay, this time I bought a machine that can actually put the gloss in the bottles instead of doing it by hand. And I was like, okay, cool. So sometimes, yeah, we're scared of like failing and all those things, but like doing it like really helps, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Was it like a hard process to, or hard, expensive, whatever, to get the bottles and stuff like that? Because I know they have like
Yes.
minimum order quantity type of
Yes.
things, and
Yes. It honestly, even till now, so like at first, the more I look at this packaging, the more I realize I don't want to change it. But the feedback that I was getting from a lot of my customers was like, oh, because the wand is pretty small. And we're all kind of used to the big lip oil wands now.
yeah, yeah.
So when you have a small wand, it feels like you can't get enough product and you have to keep kind of going in,
Hmm.
getting product. But now that I'm looking at the packaging, I'm like, I think I want to keep the packaging, but I've been looking at other packaging options because I'm like, I do want people to be able to get that thick wand and be like, hey, but there's no thick wand in this specific packaging. So
Yeah.
again, that's like the dilemma I'm facing right now. So it has been because again, with most businesses, you are investing your own money, and like
Hmm.
you're not really sure the return. Like the first batch of Anke, half of it was bought, but the other half was, hey, here's my product. I'll go to influencer events. I'll give an influencer like, hey, try it out. You don't have to post about it, but I just want to know how you feel. You know, like it's a learning process. Like I want to know what people feel so that I could go back and be like, okay, this person said that it was not glossy enough because that was literally one thing that my friend said
Okay.
about the old Anke. They were like,
Okay.
oh, it's not glossy enough. I feel like I really want it to be glossy. So then when I was making it, I was like thinking to myself, okay, what are the products and what are the things that make gloss glossy?
Hmm.
So it's like really just like a learning process, figuring it out as I go, you know, and like, yes, it is hard. And yes, it is very expensive because like I said, I'm spending most of my money on it.
Right.
And like, yeah, I'm getting some back because, people are buying it, but it's never exactly the amount, because it's my
Yeah.
business.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah.
sure. And I love that you mentioned Sephora. It's like this product is gonna be a Sephora one day. Their accelerator program is open right now, right? I think it's open right now. I normally like send it to people, yes. And I say that because I just
Girl, please send it to me.
yeah, what's her name? Priyanka Ganju. She's the founder of Coffee Beauty. She was a part of their first accelerator program.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she's like in all Sephora stores. I just talked to her not too long. Her episode just came out, but she's in all Sephora stores in the
Oh,
US
it's
and Canada.
closed.
It's closed next year though. Next year,
The thing is though, um, at the end of the day,
the day gonna end. So now.
you've seen that video. That video is so silly. It's such a silly sound,
I can't help myself.
but I think that gives me time.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I think that even where I'm at right now. So like, for example, because this is such a different bottle in the sense of the length, most lip glosses are kind of compared to like, let me get my Fenty gloss out.
Yeah.
So you know how it's short. This is a tall bottle.
Yeah.
So a lot of boxes, it's easier to find boxes that are this small, but there's no boxes that are this tall. So that's actually one of my dilemmas right now. So honestly, now I need to put together a plan because next year I want to be ready to be like, okay, I want to join this program.
Yeah,
And
she was brand new when she started. Like she
yeah,
hadn't they
I'd
might
never
have
even seen it. Cold
they might
feet.
have like just launched and it took like another year for them to get into Sephora, do their program and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But she had literally just launched. She probably didn't even have all the stuff that you have together. At,
Wow. Okay, that's good to know because next year, look, sometimes things don't work out because it's not the season for it to work out. Like girl, if it was open right now, I would have applied immediately.
yeah.
So it's good to know for next year so that way I'm like ready. And I know you like what you just said, like, oh, she wasn't even really that ready, she didn't, but still, it's good to like have some type of basis, to be
Yeah.
like, okay, because Sephora is big. Like I would need more quantities. I would
Yeah.
need more of everything. So it
Yeah.
will be good to kind of, have those goals. So now
Yeah.
you've given me a new goal for 2025.
Yes,
Thank
man.
you.
So what's working right now with the brand? Are you doing like TikTok lives and TikTok shop and like all the things, or
No,
how you
I
okay.
haven't right now. I think and which is again leading back to the job thing. I don't think that I've been able to invest as much. Like, so, okay, wait a minute. I totally forgot about this. So I'm trying to have a pop-up shop probably by the end of the year, which would be great. But
Uh-huh.
again, I'm trying to figure it out as I go. I
Okay.
don't think I've been able to invest so much. Like most of what I'll do is like Insta story talking about it, or maybe talking about it a little bit on like my page. So, but when I'm able to have that time, I will now be able to like put up a business plan, do like the TikTok shop,
Yeah.
do all those things. And the thing about most of like even the front end and all those like TikTok shop things, you need to have the quantity ready because
Right. So when people order.
exactly. And you have to be ready for virality, and a lot of times people aren't ready for that. And then next thing you know, like for example, right now, I just shipped out my orders since a month ago. And I know that's like horrible to like hear as like somebody who has purchased, but I think that it's candid as a business owner to be able to say, like, hey, it has been hard for me to ship out products because there's so many products that I needed to like I'm the one that packages them. I
Mm,
write personalized thank you notes. I have a lavender pouch in there for like, just a scent and they can reuse it. So
mm,
all those things together and me working, I haven't had time because again, the post office not being open, all those things, I haven't had time. And I actually had to tell my assistant the other day, like, hey, could you please help me just ship out these orders? So
yeah.
there's so many behind the scenes things that goes on as being a business owner that
Mhm.
you need to even be careful of and you need to be ready for. So I feel
Yeah.
like even what you're saying, like I need to be ready for that huge surge of people if it comes. But
Yeah.
right now it's like I'm in that space where I'm like, am I scared? Maybe, because it's like the, the same way people are scared of failure. I think I've started realizing people are also scared of success.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a thing. A lot of people don't talk about that though. People are
Yeah.
definitely afraid of success. Like, okay, people are gonna see me, people are gonna buy this,
Yes.
and I'm gonna have to fulfill
Yes.
this. And yeah,
Yes. But I think I'm slowly getting over that, but I'm also again trying to put up a plan, trying to figure it out, like being like, okay, how are we gonna, make sure that I have enough product, I have the quantity I need and things like that. So yeah, yeah.
okay, for sure. I want to circle back to social media because I feel like you be killing it on social media. And I love the
You,
transparency of just saying like it's hard because of course if we look at your content, it'll look like it's hard at all. Like you doing it flawlessly. So
you.
I absolutely love your content. Like, and like you said, with you take your own pictures. You started doing like these commercials and everything like that. Like when, okay, so like what is your strategy? So for example, you go to an event and stuff like that, are you posting in real time or are you waiting until like the next day to like gather your thoughts and
So, well, so for most of my events, funny enough that you mentioned events, because so I have a timer, like a post reminder, I would say.
okay.
It literally just came on right now, but I usually try to post every day at 12 on
Yeah.
Instagram. Sometimes it's 12, sometimes I post earlier, depending on if I already have content, and sometimes I post later, depending on.
So at least once a day on Instagram or like
Yes,
more?
I
Okay.
have been trying to do at least once a day, but honestly, if I'm able to like have my time back, I'm gonna try and do 2 reels a day
Mm,
because I've heard a lot of people say that that's kind of like the key to growth. And like that's like my main focus right now is like Instagram growth because that's
okay.
so hard. I don't know when it became so hard, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to make it not hard for myself because if somebody says, hey, this is the key, I'm going to try the key. And if the key doesn't work, we got to try another key. We got to keep moving.
Yeah.
So, for Instagram right now, I'm trying to post like once a day. For TikTok, I'm supposed to be posting 2 to 3 times a day, which is crazy. But I'm also trying again.
Yeah.
Keyword is trying. Now on TikTok, I'm doing one a day because that's what I can do. But again, when I have the time, I think I will try and invest more. Um, and I just I just churn out the content. But for events, I actually the sushi making class that I mentioned was actually a YouTube creator event.
Okay.
And so they just sent the pictures like 2 days ago. And then I have a little bit of my pictures that I took for the event. Now, even though the event was a couple of days ago, I'm still gonna post like, oh hey, last week at the YouTube event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think most of the time I post in real time stories, yes,
Okay.
but posts, the only time I ever post in real time is if I'm required to. So
Okay.
like last week, not last week, was it last week? 2 weeks ago, I went to Atlanta with Sephora.
Hmm.
Sephora for Sephora. That
Yep.
is
Yep.
the whole thing is tongue tying. And that was really fun, but it was also, I felt like I was really working as a creator because I was trying to post in real time. And for me, real time means like I needed to do like, oh, yesterday, this is where I was. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like if I didn't post at that time, it was gonna be like, okay, when were you at Sephora? Because in my stories, people could tell that that's where I was.
Yeah, I love that. So as far as monetizing social media, is it as easy as it was like maybe 4 years ago?
No, but I will say that I'm still learning. So because I took a whole year break, I felt like I had to relearn a lot of things.
Hmm.
I will say that I think that it's actually easier now, but you have to know where to go. So one thing I've realized is like there's more information now. Like TikTokers, they will tell you everything. They'll be like, before when I first started all this, nobody was putting their money out there, how much they made. So now you have people being like, oh my goodness, like um, this is how much I made with a brand deal, or like this is how much I made in a year. We didn't have that. Nobody
Yeah.
was telling you any. No problem. Have a nice day. Bye. Um, huh?
This is so hilarious.
Hilarious. This is actually my life, and I don't know who that was. Um, but it seemed like my replacement. Interesting. Um,
Good. Look,
so yeah, now you have people really coming out to be like, and this is how I made it. Not just I made this and this, they say, and this is how I made it. So for me, it's like what really I've learned is people will tell you what to do. Will you do it is the other thing
mm,
because it's the hard thing to do.
right.
Like people have said it over and over again, especially on TikTok. Hey, you want to grow on TikTok? This is what you do. You pick this, you do that. But people don't do it because that's the difference between people who end up getting or achieving the goals they want and the people that don't, because they give you the formula, but they're like, are you going to do it? Are you going to sit on your computer and pitch 3 companies a day? I'm not. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard work.
Right.
But what I will say is one thing that has helped me monetization wise is agencies. So I've used so many different agencies as an influencer. I
Like
feel
management or
yes, management.
okay,
It
got you.
always helps because I've noticed that they will outsource the jobs for you. You know, you can talk to them and be like, hey, you know, and they can also like bump up stuff that you think that, you know, you'll give a rate, but then they'll go back and be like, actually, we can get you this, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, especially with monetization, working with people who know what they're doing definitely helps as an influencer because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just a creative person. When it comes to numbers and all those things, they're a
Mhm.
bonus because again, I would do this even because I did do this even when I wasn't making money from it. Um, but at the same time, I think it's like a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Do your numbers have to be at a certain place already to get with the agency, or do they just have to kind of see the potential in you?
you know, one thing I've realized is we're in a time period where actually numbers are less important. Like I've noticed that the creators that are actually making more are the smaller
Like the
creators.
micro influencers?
Yes, they're the ones making more because people are more they don't think that they've been sold out. And this is so unfair, honestly, this sounds so weird, but as a bigger creator, I've noticed that people have stopped trusting us because they think we've sold out or we're not, you know, like for some reason, like we're not promoting things that we actually like, or, you
Yeah.
know, they don't trust
Like
us anymore.
authentic.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
again, it really goes hand in hand with celebrity culture. People they don't trust celebrities anymore in general.
Yeah.
So I think that even though influencers aren't celebrities, they are kind of being put in that group. But for the micro influencers, it helps a lot because people are like, I think that people can relate to these people because they don't have that many numbers, but they have loyal people who know that, hey, if this person says this, that's like they are the people who can get 50 people to buy something
Hmm.
because the 50 people trust that they're gonna actually, you know, like the product. So
Right.
I've noticed like people, yes, numbers kind of sometimes matter, but it doesn't matter as much as it used to.
Got you.
So,
Okay. What's the whole LTK thing? How does that work?
oh my God, I've honestly
People
been
make
trying to
money
get it.
from that?
So, honestly, I've started realizing, well, I've heard, let's say it that way, I've heard that people make a full-time living off of LTK.
Really?
Yes. Yes, I've heard that. I actually, funny enough, had a couple of calls with them like last year, and they were telling me and showing me stats of people who were making full-time living. Yes, like
What?
full-time living doctor salary, but they were posting 2 times a day,
Right.
sometimes 5 times a day.
Lord.
Now, what that means is not posting like, oh, it's the post that matters. It's really just the people buying the things they're posting.
Hmm.
And one thing, again, it's everything follows the same pattern. If you're consistently doing something and learning the platform, because I just got on LTK last year and I just started kind of getting into it and being like, oh, okay, this is like a little passive income here and there. But again, I know that when I have the time, I'll be able to invest and be like, okay, this is my LTK strategy. Because again, it's very simple. It's really
Yeah.
just somebody asks you for something and they're like, hey, like for example, one of my highest performing LTK posts was my birthday hair because it was a synthetic wig. And I told everybody that it was like less than $20, which it was.
Uh-huh.
And we love a synthetic wig because it's versatile, but it's also cheap. And people want
Right.
just hair that is beautiful, but they don't want to spend a lot on.
Hmm.
I got so many clicks on that wig, still getting so many clicks on that wig
Yeah.
because people liked it. You
Right.
know, so
So
it's
it's
like
about a click, so about like if people actually purchase.
it's clicks and purchase. So clicks help. Yeah, it's so most of the time they'll tell you a notification like, oh, you just made a sale. Yeah, all that it is really just figuring out how to like each time. So, okay, you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, each time. So what I started doing when I was actually pretty consistent on LTK was every time I posted and I put in the caption, this is where I get my stuff from, I would tell them, go to my LTK. And that way, you never know who's looking at what. You might have put up, oh, I got the dress from Zara. You didn't tell them where but imagine if they like the dress and you tell them it's from Zara, it's on my LTK, they will like the dress and then go to your LTK to find it. And
Wow.
that way, if they like it enough, they'll buy it.
There's so many ways to get a coin out here these days.
It
I
is, it
swear.
is. And that's again still going back to like different streams of income. As a creator, you have to figure out how many places you can split yourself so that way, even because again, being a creator, it is very inconsistent money wise,
Yeah.
very inconsistent. But you can create consistency for yourself by different things, different avenues, and different places to get your coin from.
I want to play like a little game of this or that, like choosing between probably two things that you love, but
Okay.
I would love to know what your preference is. So you let
Okay.
me know.
Okay.
Photo or video?
Photo, definitely photos. Even though that was hard though.
Yeah, okay. Matte versus glossy.
Lip,
Matte, yes, matte lip or glossy lip.
glossy lip all the way. I can't even do matte. The other day I did matte and I put gloss on top. I couldn't even do it.
Matte for the color, but go put some gloss on top.
Exactly.
Got
Perfect.
you. A liquid blush or a powder blush?
I used to be such a powder blush girly, but I've really gotten into liquid blush. So liquid blush.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram?
Oh, geez, these are hard.
I know, right?
TikTok because authenticity and fun, but Instagram because of aesthetic. So I would say Instagram because I've been on there for longer.
Okay, okay. And the last one, vlogging versus blogging. Because I know you done
Vlogging,
both.
definitely. Definitely vlogging.
Okay.
Vlogging is a whole category on its own.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. People love this or that. So I'm like, let me throw this in here.
Yeah,
This will be
I
fun.
love that. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot to tell you about the time that I saw you for the first time. I feel like,
Really? When
and I
was
said that I
that?
was gonna share. It was at the it was a long time ago. It had to be like 2016, maybe. I have to look in my archives. I feel like I have a picture too. But you were
Really?
like, I don't know if you were an ambassador or something for like the Naturalista um
Oh, yes, I
hair show.
remember the N hair show. That's true.
Yes, and I was
Yes.
working with AJ Crimson at the time. He had his booth there, and I saw you walk past. I still remember what you had on. You had on like this
A
it was an
black.
African print outfit, but it was like a turquoise kind of color.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God. You know what's funny? I feel like, oh yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. You mentioned AJ Crimson, and then I just thought of the fact that I had a picture with, I was like,
Yeah.
that's not the same event. That's not the same event.
Is that the same event?
It's not. But I think
Okay.
it was the same event, but a different year.
Got you.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
wow.
I
That's
remember
a
seeing you there for
memory.
the first time. I said, oh my God, because I was already like following you and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, like
Oh,
fangirl
I
out. And now
love
I
that.
keep seeing you everywhere.
I had the braid with the flowers in it.
Yep.
Yes. I remember. I remember now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I remember like you said, you kind of took a break off of social media, whatever. And I saw you pop back up on YouTube. I was like, am I tripping? Like I was like, I haven't seen her in a long time.
Yes, I popped back up. I was like, look, I'm good now. Good now.
Yeah.
That
And
2020
you
took me
shared, I
out.
was
Like,
like, it was so hard, like touching when you shared your story, your mental
yes.
health story.
That's actually what I'm sharing on Thursday for Mental Health Day on my podcast.
Girl, I was like, it had to be, it was last year. It was definitely last year because my best friend had just had her baby.
Oh,
She had
wow.
just had her baby. I said, girl, I'm sitting here watching Ronke's video. You need to take it easy. 'Cause
Easy.
postpartum is no joke. And I
No.
absolutely, I'm sad that you know, went through all of that, but also I'm happy that you shared because I am an aspiring doula. And
Wow.
I've just been around kids and people giving birth like for a long time. I've assisted on like 3 births at this point, and I'm not even a real doula. But I feel like just in general, society doesn't talk about postpartum enough. Like
No.
they don't talk
No.
about what happens to the woman's body, how you have to heal, the hormones, the
Yes.
just the whole journey of trying to reimagine or get back to yourself or this new version of yourself. So hearing your story, I said this to my best friend, like, girl, like please take it easy because
And it's so funny because I never get tired of talking about it because I know like even when I was gonna do like this past pod, because I already recorded it. And I remember after I finished recording it, my body was so tense. And I was like, wow, you forgot that this was traumatic for you,
yeah,
And it's like every single time I'm like, oh, you don't need to talk about it. And I'm like, no, you do need to talk about it because you never know who's listening at the time. Like you and your best friend were listening at that time. You never know who's going to listen at this time. You never know who's going to feel heard or seen through what you share. And I feel like the only reason why I even felt that way was because when I was depressed and when things were going on with me, I remember watching certain people online that were sharing that helped me feel like, oh, you're not alone, So
yeah,
I just felt like I wanted to give people that feeling of like, hey, like regardless of like where you're at, like even though you see me now, like I'm smiling and stuff, it was hard,
yeah,
So, and it's part of being human, So
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. How have you gotten used to living life online? Because I feel like I was at the wedding, I was at the childbirths, like I see the kids grow up. I just feel like, you take people along on this journey with you, and then of course you expect for everything to go well, but when it doesn't, like how do you cope with like living life authentically, of course, because you're showing
Yeah.
people your life, but like
Yeah.
taking them on this journey, living life out loud.
Yeah. I mean, it has its things, like people make assumptions or like, people will, feel entitled to your life. But
Right.
one thing that I realized, or one thing that has helped me is I try to focus on the people who are positively affecting me because
Mm-hmm.
it is very easy to get caught up in the negative, like the people being like, oh, she does this and da it's easy to kind of like be like, oh, well, maybe I should do less of this, so I've started also realizing that like living authentically offline helps me live authentically online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like trying not to like always be online consuming how other people are acting or what other people are doing, even though it's hard because you do need some type of inspiration. But it's
Yeah.
like trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
Trying to find the balance.
Ask you about that balance with the kids and being a creative and,
Honestly, I truly believe that balance doesn't exist.
yeah, somebody said harmony. I was listening to a podcast
Yeah.
before and it was the girl who's the owner of like Milano de Rouge. She has a clothing brand and she was
Yeah.
like, balance doesn't exist. I try to find harmony.
Yes. Because I've noticed that there are weeks that my business is thriving, everything is going well, but then I haven't spent so much time on my kids or like my house is like crazy looking.
Yeah.
And then I've noticed that there's sometimes that my house is neat, my kids are happy, I'm spending time with them, but then my mental health is like horrible because, I haven't been creating, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Got you.
yeah, being able to accept sometimes that my space might not be as aesthetic. There might be clothes on the floor. I might like currently, I've been trying to do laundry for the past week. And we all know how laundry is. Laundry is annoying because you have to fold stuff. But because I'm also like a fashion person, I have a lot of clothes and sometimes I run out of storage.
Yeah.
And because I run out of storage, laundry becomes even more annoying because I'm folding these clothes and I'm like, bruh,
You
I
have
need to
nowhere
do
to put
another.
them.
Yes. And not even that, with children's clothes, it's even worse because it's like you have to like I have to consistently do laundry for them because they pee on themselves. There's
Mm,
dirt. So I have to continuously do laundry by myself. And sometimes it takes me 2 weeks to finish a actual load of laundry
yeah.
to a to get to a point where I fold it. So right now, and sometimes it causes me anxiety because I'm like, I don't feel like I like planning out my kids' outfits the day before. So I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I have enough outfits for this week. And, I
Mm,
try to start off Monday. But yesterday, I actually just told myself, hey, just do what you can.
yeah.
when you get back, oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, but you frozen. But
When you get back home, you'll figure it out, you know? So it's like accepting that sometimes life isn't gonna be this like, my house is clean, I've eaten, my kids are eating. Sometimes it's gonna be, I might not have eaten lunch and my kids are
right,
eating lunch, you know?
right.
So, you know, and just accepting the messiness of life, because life is messy.
Yep, life is messy. Yes, indeed. What parts of yourself are you happy that you lost? Because it takes some shedding to, get to where you are right now.
That's a deep question. That's giving therapy. Uh,
Ah,
what parts of myself am I happy that I lost? That's a good question.
gotta shed in order to grow.
Right. Um, I'm happy that I lost my people pleasing
Mm,
things. Yeah. I'm happy that I stopped caring about what people thought about me.
I
Um,
like that.
that was huge. I mean, with shedding, there's always still gonna be tiny pieces, you know, but I feel so free that I
Mhm.
no longer, not that I don't care all the way, but I pick and choose what I care about. You know, like I feel like that helped me live more authentically, you know, like I used to care so much about what people thought about my decisions, about who I am, about what I wear. But now I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't care. Like you can, oops, like, you
Yeah.
know, like my major thing was like people liking me. I used to be obsessed with people who did not like me. I
Wow.
was like, oh my God, like, why don't you like me? What if I modify myself? What if I do this? How about
Yeah.
if I put myself in a box and flip over and then I started realizing, oh, you don't like yourself, so you can't like me. Aw, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Oops. You know,
Yeah.
so change of perspective. So I think that's kind of like what I've learned.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yes, I love it.
Right.
Have you thought about what you want your legacy to be as a creator, a creative and brand owner, anything?
Yes. I think about that all the time. One of my huge things, even though like nobody does brick and mortar anymore and everybody's like moving to online, but and this is gonna sound the weirdest ever, but I've always wanted to like, so aside from, you know, like I know everybody wants to make money and get rich and stuff like that, which, you know, I feel like I would much rather be rich in spirit. But anyway, I think that I think about how I want my kids to grow up in an environment where we make our own food. You know, we Nara Smith everything. Um, you know, we have our chickens in the backyard making us, you know, eggs and stuff like that. But at the same time, having a business that runs for me to be able to provide like that stability for my kids is like one of my huge things. And like I really want to have a coffee shop. I know that's like such a strange thing to like want, but like not just a coffee shop, but like just a coffee shop that has like other things attached to it.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's because it's just such a humble thing to do, like to have
I
like,
don't feel like coffee shops will ever go out of style. I hope not
no,
because you can't get that
no,
vibe.
they really won't. And you know, even if it's not coffee, even just like artisan drinks or like something fun,
Yeah.
um, I just feel like that's something that you know, like the same thing I had a dream is like I've had that like kind of in, you know, wanting to do that for a while.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of like another my legacy, I guess. And then obviously for me to be able to leave it. Ooh, what number is this? Not somebody's calling me. But yeah, you know, that's kind of like one thing. That
And we know it's gonna be super aesthetic in there. It's probably gonna be like all neutral colors.
what it's gonna be like
Wood.
I want people to want to be in there and take photos and all that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. Is
That's what
there
keeps me pushing too.
yeah. Is
So
there anything that's coming up next for you that you can share? I know you mentioned the holiday collection and
yes, the
everything,
holiday
possibly a
collection.
pop-up shop soon.
Yes, and actually an event in November.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, I'm trying to have an event called Creatives Unite. I'm actually having it with a couple of other ladies.
Mm.
Dooney, who's like an artist.
I love me some duty. Yes.
Oh, she is honestly such a beautiful woman. In, out, everything, the art, just everything.
Yeah.
And she's a fellow mom too. So it's like, oh, just everything. And also Viva Vida LLC. So she's like a charcuterie board.
Yes, I saw her at Dooney's event. Oh, that was so good. I love that.
Her stuff is so aesthetic, and like just the way she plans it, just the layout of things, everything is just so amazing. So the three of us came together and we're like, okay, let's do a Creatives Unite a party, I guess. So we're in the works.
Okay, keep me posted. I want to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah, girl. Yeah. So we're trying. I mean, we have like literally a month. We're still trying to like do the venue and talk to them and things like that. So yeah, we're hoping November, but if not December, but we shall see. So that's like one thing that's in the works.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yes. Well, before you go, I have to ask you the Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind, spit it out. If you need to elaborate, that's fine.
Okay.
It's gonna be easy, girl.
Okay.
So the first one is, what are the top 3 keys to your success so far?
Consistency, discipline, and not taking life too seriously.
I love it. How do you measure your success?
Rapid fire. Inner peace.
Inner peace, yes. What's the best advice you've ever received, or a piece of advice that just always sticks with you?
If you've always done what you're used to, you're never going to be more than what you are.
Ooh, okay, period. I love that. Okay. What advice would you give to another creative right now who is just not having the best time, and they're just like, I'm gonna go get me a little 9 to 5 and just hang it up. I can't do it no more.
Go outside, reflect, and also try to take a step back. Burnout is real, being a creative, and sometimes if you're burnt out, you're not going to be able to create anything. So do something different, do something spontaneous, something fun to like rejuvenate your creativity, hang out with your friends, go to a fun coffee shop, like do things like, get outside, I think being online, we kind of get trapped online. So yeah.
I love it. Yeah. What's a resource that helps you in your business that you can share with the Friends in Beauty community?
YouTube and ChatGPT are your best friends, especially those prompts that people have. Just go to TikTok and type in content creation prompts. I promise you so many will come up, and it will give you 30 days of content. It will give you just everything. So ChatGPT, YouTube, TikTok is also a great resource too.
Love it. So the last one is just a statement, and I want you to fill in the blank and just say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank, like whatever you think it is.
My name is Ronke, and the key to longevity and success is authenticity.
Period. Authenticity. Before you go, share like your social media, TikTok, whatever you want to share for people to connect with you.
Okay, so my Instagram is at Raji, and my TikTok is at Ronke Raji. Actually, most of my platforms are at Ronke Raji, except from TikTok, because it has 2 eyes at the end of Raji. And my podcast is If We're Being Real podcast. It's on Apple Music. Apple Music is wild.
Yeah,
Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And then you can also follow Anke Beauty Co. at Anke Beauty Co. on Instagram. And we actually have a TikTok. So yeah, and my YouTube.
Yes, I love it. I feel like this is the longest I've ever heard you talk without your accent too.
Oh, LOL. I know, because I only talk on with my accent on my stories, because that's actually how I am, and also at home. Or to other, if somebody comes to me with a Nigerian accent, I will talk to them in Nigerian accent.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Well, thank you so much. This is such
No,
a
it was-
pleasure chatting with you. I feel
I
like we have to
loved
come
it.
back again. Like, I feel like we could just continue to talk.
I need you as a guest too, so I'm gonna hit you up because it was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you. Of course. Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Rate and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.